students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I am streaming to you live from beautiful Budapest here in Central Europe. I hope everybody has had a great week and is having a great Friday so far. All right, students, today we are looking at IELTS reading. The reading passage for today is coming from your exam book 2, test number 6, passage 1, coming out of our premium IELTS package at aehelp.com for academic version of the test, and GIELTShelp.com for the general module. So make sure to check us out on those websites. Hi, students who are joining in. Hi, Tina. Hi, Gadam. Hi, Pachu. Hi, Kyber. Hi, Amrit. Good to see so many of you. Hi, Kisi. Again, you can use the code LIVE20, L-I-V-E 20, to get a 20% discount on our premium IELTS package. The general website looks like this at gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button and apply that code to get the discount. For the academic, this website here, we will have this code for this week still, and then next week it will be gone. So use it now. Click that red button on the AE Help website. All right, students. So if you have questions, comments, you can always send me an email, Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com. This week, we have a special schedule, so pay attention. Today, we have this reading strategy. No class tomorrow or on Saturday. Sorry, it's Thursday right now. So I said I hope everybody is having a great Friday, but it's Thursday, yeah. So no class on Friday, no class on Saturday. Back on Monday, on the 20th, with a members chat class for writing task 1, followed by speaking part 2, and then another extra class on Tuesday with task 2 and listening. Hi, Huong. I hope you're doing great. Missed you in the members chat class earlier. Okay, without further ado, let's look at today's reading. So reading passage 1, we will do this together. My goal for today is to go through the whole passage and make sure that the questions, the answers, the passage is clear, and you learn some great strategies on how to get a nice high band score. So today my goal will be to move nice and smoothly through the reading passage. All right, students, here we go. So this is academic for those people who are taking the general version of the test. In the general IELTS exam, section 3 is very, very similar to the academic reading passages. So keep that in mind. Good evening to everybody who's joining in and giving me salutations. Good evening to you also. So this question, list of headings. We know that we will do this as we read. Great. We can look at the question. We can see that there are quite a number of choices. And then here we have our passage for today. The title is Battle for the World's Tallest Building. Kind of interesting. As we know, people love to build taller and taller buildings. This is the fight for who builds the tallest building. Okay, so why do people build taller and taller buildings? What are these tall buildings called, by the way, in English? What are the names for these tall buildings? And why do we do it? Yeah, Sana, you're right. Dubai is one place where people are building these very tall buildings. Sana, that's correct. We call them skyscrapers. King never dies. Towers is also a correct name for them. Some high buildings are called high rises, right? Amrit CN Tower, that's a high building or a high structure. as well. That's right. Tina says it's a luxury building, so people build them to create luxury. Yes, I agree, Tina. That's one reason, certainly. They're mega structures, according to Nirmaljit. And you're right, Nirmaljit, we do call them one type of mega structure. Large bridges are also mega structures. A large dam can be a mega structure. Hi, Harminder. Gadam says, well, because they're beautiful. Yes, absolutely. A metropolis like New York or Dubai is also referred to as a concrete jungle. That's right. Kyber, I'm going to be away in the next 3 days, so that's why we're not doing live streaming. Tina says to create beautiful views. Absolutely, yeah. So lots of reasons. They also show the economic power of a city or a country, right? It takes a lot of money to build a building so high. To save space. Okay, real estate is very valuable, especially in the downtown of large cities. So to save space and make a profit. Gadam says to show the latest technology, the most recent modern technology. Yeah, absolutely. Kisi says for competition. People want to be proud, right? It's pride. We have the highest building in the world. It's a matter of pride. Absolutely, Kisi. Competition. So lots of reasons. Good. How do we do it? With engineering, with technology, with lots of people, with bravery, with lots of money. Let's see. Okay, so after the passage, we have some yes, no, not given questions. We will not read these. We will not skim or scan or glance at these questions. We know that they are confusing to read before the passage. We never read true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given. There's too much information that just plays with your mind, so we don't do it. Then we have some multiple choice. Now, for multiple choice, we know that we should only read the question because the answers can be confusing, false, or added information. We do not need that. So let's read only the question. What was the world's tallest building in 1960? What, according to some commentators, is the difference between buildings and structures? Okay. Which statement best summarizes the message of the passage? And then we're on to the next one. So, all right. Romeo Preet asking a question. How can I join your classes? I'm thinking you are referring to the members chat classes. There's a join button, Romeo, on the channel page. Click on the join button. It's beside the subscribe button. If you don't see it, you might need to use a VPN or a proxy IP if it's not available in your country. Okay, all right. Same answer, Bimod. To become a member, you have a join button beside the subscribe button. You can click that. If you have an Apple device, then you need a link to join. If it's not available in your country, you need a VPN to join. Jessica, TOEFL is very different from the IELTS exam, absolutely. Okay, if you have a question about that, send me an email. We also help students with TOEFL. Okay, so let's read, students. We are going to do this passage together. Let's read. Guang Kai Ren is asking a good question. You're asking, is there a difference between joining and paying on aehelp.com? Absolutely, Guang Kai Ren. Our YouTube channel is just a small part of the big product. When you join at aehelp.com, you get access to a lot of videos, exams, and other things as well. Okay, let's focus on the reading, everyone. So here we go. Everybody is ready. We will now do this passage together. So I'm going to do this the same as if I am sitting in the IELTS exam. I just finished the listening. Now I'm doing the reading. I open my reading booklet, and this is what I have here. So battle for the world's tallest building. Paragraph A. The desire to construct taller and taller structures has been a part of human culture for at least 4,500 years. Dating back to ancient Egypt and through the modern day, the construction of tall structures has mirrored advances in technology, logistics, and engineering. Today, the world's tallest buildings are landmarks, tourist attractions, and points of civic and national pride for residents. What is this introductory paragraph about? So what did we just read? This is how we do list of headings questions. For many of you, this is now practice. Right? You saw this class last week. So, Pachu says it's the history of the tallest buildings. Gadam says maybe technology, engineering, and logistic. History of skyscrapers. A bit of history. Sure. Yeah. Excuse me. If I had to answer, I would say it is about the history of building tall structures for humans. Okay, so now we go and we look for the list of headings that matches closest. It is about the history of building tall structures for humans and its importance. Okay, so let's see what matches here. Here we go. So a controversial designation, the Industrial Revolution, buildings in space, fast and impressive, the reign of the churches, the Strasbourg Cathedral, a part of human history, technology, logistics, and engineering, the industrial acceleration, tall structures of the ancient world, looking towards the future. What do you think is the closest match? So from these choices, which one matches the closest to it is about the history of building tall structures from humans and its importance? All right, so it looks like most people say that, well, it's a part of human history is the best answer for that. I agree. I mean, even the words are there, right? So I use the word history when I answered the question. It has the word history. So for paragraph A, then in my answer book, I'm just going to put the Roman number 7, part of human history, and then I can move on. All right, let's read paragraph B. So we're reading all the paragraphs. Paragraph B, read with me. Okay, together, let's read together. Read together. Ancient Egyptians believed that to be closer to the sky was to be closer to the realm of the gods and afterlife. While regular Egyptians had to settle for burial in the ground, the pharaohs got to be entombed much closer to the sky in purpose-built pyramids. The world's first truly high structures, the Great Pyramid of Giza, was built in approximately 2560 BCE for the burial of the pharaoh Khufu. reaching a height of 481 feet at the time of construction. The Great Pyramid was the tallest structure in the world for almost 4,000 years. What is paragraph B about? Answer. What is it about? We just read paragraph B. What is that about? Sana says it's about the ancient tallest buildings. It's about the pyramids of Egypt, Gadam says. The tallest buildings for a long period of time. Yeah. So it's about pyramids, right? So again, students, when you're practicing this at home, always practice to have the most accurate answer possible. So it is about the pyramids, the Great Pyramid, the first truly tall structures of ancient times. Okay? If I want to give a very nice round answer, I would say it's about the pyramids, the Great Pyramid, the first truly tall structures of ancient times. Now, if I go back and I look at these options, which one is it? I should realize it's about tall structures of the ancient world. That's just another way to say pyramids of 4,000 years ago. Tall structures of the ancient world. Okay? Now, we're given that answer. So you can see it says paragraph B, that's the example. It says X. So if I choose this before I look at the example, I know that I am doing it correctly. Okay? So B is X. It's about the ancient tall structures, the pyramids. Okay? It's descriptive paraphrasing. Tall structures of the ancient world describes the pyramid. That's the paraphrase. That's the connection. Okay? So yes, all of you, Nabeen, Kyunyuin, Sumok, Janet, you're all giving me correct answers. That's fantastic. All right, let's keep going. So here we go. It wasn't until the year 1311 CE and the construction of the Lincoln Cathedral in England that the height of the Great Pyramid was surpassed at 525 feet. It was only slightly taller. Throughout the period from 1311 to 1880, the title of the world's tallest building changed hands a number of times through both destruction and construction. But each structure was a European church. Interestingly, the world's tallest building from 1647 to 1874, the Strasbourg Cathedral in France, was actually shorter than the original height of the Great Pyramid. Standing 469 feet, the cathedral was approximately 13 feet taller than the Great Pyramid's contemporary height, which had been reduced 35 feet from its original stature by erosion. Okay, some tricky words there, but if I don't understand all the words, that's okay. 60% is enough to get a band 6.5 or 7. Question, students. What is paragraph C about? What is it about? What's paragraph C about? Amrit says comparison between cathedrals and pyramids. I don't think so, Amrit. There's one example at the end that compares the Strasbourg Cathedral to the pyramid, but that's not the main part of the paragraph. Nabeen says building history. Nabeen, that's too general. Gadam says it's about the changing the many times the tallest buildings. That's an explanation, but it's not really what it's about. Cigar says building that used to be the tallest in the ancient time. Ancient means thousands of years ago. This is hundreds of years ago, Cigar, so it's not so accurate. Sana says fluctuation. Kesey says tall structures in different times. Kind of. What are we actually talking about? What is this focusing on? Okay, there's Kriti Dagar. So Kriti Dagar says it's about the cathedrals, cathedral buildings, right? Yeah? So what's the word, students, that we see in the paragraph often? That's probably a good bet to see what it's about. So often the answer of what the paragraph is about comes from the beginning. Here's the cathedral in England. It's telling us how tall it is, okay? Then it says from 1311 to 1880, the destruction, construction, but each was a European church, okay? Then it's about the Strasbourg Cathedral, which is comparable to the Great Pyramid, okay? So here we have the word cathedral again. So pay attention to that. Sana says it's about churches. Kesey says, well, maybe it's about churches, right? Okay, so now we have a better answer, right? It is about the time in Europe when churches were the tallest buildings. That would be the best answer. Okay, so what is paragraph C about? It is about the time in Europe when churches were the tallest buildings. So, which one matches? Which choice matches the best? Okay. Give me your answer. Which one of these do you think matches closest to this paragraph? There's a couple that might seem correct. Okay, so now a lot of you are saying, well, I think it's number 5, the reign of the churches. Reign means rule of the churches, so the time period when churches were the tallest. I agree, okay? It's not number 6, the Strasbourg Cathedral. This is just an example in the paragraph, so it's not number 6, it's number 5. So number 5 is correct. So again, you put in number 5 into your answer sheet, use the Roman numeral V, and then you're correct. So good job, Naima and Kati. King never dies. Be very careful. It's not correct because that's not what the paragraph is about. It's about the churches. The Strasbourg Cathedral is just an example. Okay, it's just the how. It's not the what. Okay, let's keep going. So I hope everybody is getting a good idea now of how to do this, all right? Let's go to D. 1884 marked the first time the world's tallest building stood in North America. The Washington Monument, standing 555 feet in Washington, D.C., is also the world's tallest obelisk and tallest all-stone structure. During this period, engineers and architects were reaping the fruits of the 19th century's Industrial Revolution, which led to accelerating advances in construction, engineering, and technology. In 1889, the Eiffel Tower was completed and stood as the world's tallest building at 986 feet for over 40 years. What is this paragraph about? What is paragraph D about? Again, remember, students, the best answer to your question will help you the most to choose the correct list of headings. Okay? So Amrit says world's tallest building in a different era. Suveen Ibrahim says industrial revolution. Pachu says industrial revolution. Kiri Degar says it's something about an architectural revolution that's connected with industrial revolution. So Kirti, that's a good concept there. Gonkai Ren says building and technology. Danish Malik says revolutions of technology and construction. All of those sound really good. Yeah, so you're very accurate. So a revolution in building technology thanks to the Industrial Revolution. The Washington Monument and the Eiffel Tower are just examples of that. So let's see which one matches the closest. So which of these is the closest match for the improvement in building these mega structures? So is it the controversial designation? Are we talking about the Industrial Revolution, buildings in space, fast and impressive, the reign of the churches, the Strasbourg Cathedral, part of human history, technology, logistics, engineering, the industrial acceleration, tall structures of the ancient world are looking towards the future? Okay, some of you are saying Industrial Revolution. Is that really what it's about, though? Kisi says it's more about the industrial acceleration. So speeding up, building these taller and taller buildings. I would agree with Kisi. I don't think this is about the Industrial Revolution. It's not about the factories in England and just technology. It's about speeding up the technology. So the industrial acceleration. Sure, okay, look, students, here we have Industrial Revolution, right? So we have one word from what we're saying. We have another word. Here we have the industrial acceleration. Okay? If I go back to my answer, so this is my answer here. A revolution in building technology thanks to the Industrial Revolution. So if I take this plus this, okay, it will equal this more than this one. Okay? So again, let me hop back. So Industrial Revolution is only half of what I wrote. If I think about the other half of the rapid or advancement or revolution in buildings, then industrial acceleration is the better answer. Do you see how that works? Is that clear? It's not IELTS trying to trap you, Sana. It's IELTS trying to make sure that you're not just seeing half of the picture, but you're seeing the full picture. Okay? So the IELTS tests your critical thinking. It tests to make sure that you're not just looking at small pieces, but you're able to see small pieces and the big picture. Okay? So careful with that. Hopefully now it makes more sense. Okay, that's why it's really important that you give a good answer to the what question. All right, students, here we go. Let's keep going. So that was paragraph D. So for D, we put IX, which is Roman numeral 9, the industrial acceleration, and then we move on. Okay, so move on to paragraph E. Here we go. Read with me. Okay, students, read aloud, nice and loud with me. Okay. The designation of world's tallest building returned to the United States in 1932 with the construction of the 1,250-foot Empire State Building in New York City, one of the incredible architectural achievements of the 20th century. It was completed in just over a year, an astonishing pace. The first building in the world to boast over 100 stories. The Empire State Building stood as the world's tallest for 36 years. What is this paragraph about? And I'm glad that it now makes a bit more sense, Pachu and Morteza. So, what is this about? Okay, again, answer as best as you can, full sentence. So what is paragraph E about? Yeah, you're right. So it's about the world's tallest building, the Empire State Building in the U.S. Which is amazing and built quickly. Okay, so if I want to give a very, very good full answer to my question, what is paragraph E about? It is about the world's tallest building in the 1900s, the Empire State Building in New York, which is not only amazing, but built super fast. Okay, that's what it's about. So what is the closest match? Here. Which one of these do you think, trying to give you less and less help, which of these do you think is the best match? Naima, it's not an ancient building. Students, the word ancient in English usually means thousands of years old, not just decades or hundreds, but thousands. Okay? So Amrit Bogan says it's about fast and impressive. Gadam says it's looking towards the future. I don't think so. It's still in the past. It looks like most of you are saying it's fast and impressive. Yeah. Okay. That's a description of the Empire State Building. It was built quickly in just a year, and it's impressive. It's the first building to have over 100 stories. It's amazing. It's the Empire State Building. So fast and impressive is the best choice from these. Okay? Remember, in the IELTS, you're looking for the best choice. This one is the best choice, number 4. Okay? So, we choose the answer Roman numeral 4, and we put it into our answer sheet. And now we have one paragraph to go. Paragraph F. Okay, last paragraph. Paragraph F. All right, let's do this together. So here we go. Last one again. Read aloud with me, students. Here we go. Read with me together. After domination by Egypt, Western Europe, and the United States, 1975 saw Toronto, Canada's CN Tower, steal away the designation of the world's tallest with a height of 1,815 feet. Over a third of a mile high, the CN Tower was the world's tallest for 32 years. This designation is disputed by some academics, as they believe a building must be inhabited or be worked in order to count as a building. The CN Tower is neither worked nor lived in, though it does have an observation deck. So while it was unambiguously the world's tallest structure during this period, opinions differ on whether it was the world's tallest building. 2007 clarified any debate there was concerning the designation, with the construction of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, it became undoubtedly the world's tallest structure and building, standing 2,722 feet, precisely 50% higher than the CN Tower. The Burj Khalifa soars over half a mile into the sky. Okay? What is this paragraph about? So what is it about? Okay? Let's keep going here. Question. What is paragraph F about? Kirti says it's about skyscrapers. Nirmalajit says CN Tower discussion and its comparison with Burj Khalifa. Nirmalajit, that's not bad. Khyber says comparison of design among countries. To think what it is to be a building. Yeah. Deepak Kumar, very good. So Deepak says it's a bit of controversy. That's a very good answer. Suveen also, dispute on can a tower be considered a building. So it is about a dispute or a controversy about what classifies as a building or structure. CN Tower, Burj Khalifa. Okay, so what is it? All right. What's the closest match? So which one do you think from these choices is the closest to our answer? It's a debate or a dispute about, hey, what should be considered a tall building? And I can see Harshit Singh, Amrit Bogdan, Harminder, Harsh, Paleen, Sagar, Kirti, and Rihan, many others agreeing it is a controversial designation. When you see the word that you use in your answer in the choice, it seems that should be right. So just choose it, okay? Now, in the official IELTS exam, students, you do not have time to write it down. That's for practice at home. But you should do that in your head, okay? Huang, you're right. It's number one. So we give the answer number one for F. And then we move on. I think we have maybe one more paragraph to go. So we move on to the next one, which is paragraph G. Yeah, it's the last one. So we have one more. We have paragraph G. Let's read it together. It's the conclusion. Very short. Here we go. Read with me. Where do we go from here? What heights will buildings of the future reach? Will we one day construct buildings that can reach into space? While the impetus for the construction of taller and taller buildings may no longer be proximity to the gods, the desire to touch the sky with our creations remains. Okay? So, what is that paragraph about? What is paragraph G about? My question, and the answer, Sana says, well, it's about future predictions. Nikuji Patel says it's about the future. Ghost agrees, something about the future of buildings. Yeah, maybe reaching space. It's questioning, right? You see the questions. Questioning the future of tall structures. Yeah, it's questioning the future of the tall structures. Let's see which one of these matches the closest. So from the choices here, which one do you think is most accurate to what we're thinking? Amrit says, well, I think looking towards the future seems to be the right one here. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has the word future, right? So, makes sense. Sure. Don't overthink it. Okay. So I put in xi, and hopefully that's correct. It should be. And all of you who are saying it's number 11, yeah, definitely. Okay. All right, let's go to true, false, not given. So let's see how quickly and effectively we can answer the other question types now in this passage. When you do a good job with list of headings, you can do a good job in the rest of it. So here we go. Yes, no, not given. So put a Y if it's a statement that agrees with what the writer states. No if it disagrees or the opposite of what the writer is stating. Not given if we can't know according to the writer. Not according to you, but according to the writer. Here we go. The Great Pyramid was the world's tallest building for over 4,000 years. Is it important? Is it important to know whether or not the Great Pyramid was a tall building for this topic, the world's tallest building? Is that important? Yes, that's important. So, is it true? Is it true that the Great Pyramid was the world's tallest building for over 4,000 years? Is that true? So many of you are saying true. Okay, my answer is maybe. Okay, so if I say maybe, okay, because it's over 4,000 years, I remember something about 4,000 years, so I remember this part, but I don't remember the over 4,000 years. So my answer is maybe. Careful not to be overconfident with true. If my answer is maybe, what should I do? Yeah, Dinesh is saying maybe as well. Maybe is a good answer here. So what should I do? What should I do here? You said check the passage, okay? Now, remember, it's not the first paragraph, okay? Because first paragraph, we had a different answer. So remember the list of headings question, okay? Paragraph A was the part of human history. Remember, it was a part of human history for paragraph A. And then for paragraph B, structures of the ancient world. So I remember from my list of headings that this is actually paragraph B. Okay? So I go back to paragraph B and I look for that 4,000 years. So here, right away, it's very easy for me to say that. 4,000 years. Okay, so I read the sentence. The Great Pyramid was the tallest structure in the world for almost 4,000 years. So is it true that it's over 4,000 years? No, it's not. Because almost is less than, right? So just less than 4,000 years, not over 4,000 years. So the correct answer then is no, okay? So be very, very careful, okay? There's always a good rule in life, okay? The good rule in life is if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Okay, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So just be very careful. The IELTS exam is not trying to trick you. It's just trying to make sure that you are a careful thinker. In university, you can't just jump to conclusions. That's very, very dangerous. Okay, so here it's easy for me. Okay, don't be it's good to be confident. Students, it is good to be confident, okay, on the IELTS exam, but it is dangerous to be overconfident, okay? Farhan, that's a very good expression. Farhan says, look before you leap. That's a very, very good proverb, Farhan. Look before you leap. Absolutely. That means that before you jump, you should look at where you're jumping. So, all right. So the answer for this one is no. I go on to the next. Erosion caused the Strasbourg Cathedral to lose some of its height. So erosion means weather, like rain and wind. Is this important? Is it important for this passage to know that the Strasbourg Cathedral got a little bit shorter from wind and rain? Dinesh Kumar says no. A lot of people are saying yes. Dinesh says again, guys, no. Cheref Hatu says no, it's not important. Tina says no, it's not important. The pyramid, okay, the Great Pyramid, 4,000 years. So for erosion, it's important to know this one, if this got shorter or taller, because it's 4,000 years. But the Strasbourg Cathedral was the tallest building for just a short time. We don't need to know what the rain did to it. Okay? All right? So this is not important. I'm a little bit surprised that many of you think it's important for the passage to know about this specific example losing some of its height. It's not. This example is much more significant because it was a tall building for 4,000 years. This one, it's not nearly as important as the Great Pyramid, so it's not so important. So this would be a not given. I would answer not given for that very, very quickly, and I would keep going. Okay? If you start searching for this, if you start going over the passage, June Latour, you'll lose a lot of time. You shouldn't search for this answer. You should realize that for this passage, the Strasbourg Cathedral is just a small example, and we do not need to know about it losing its height. So it should just be not given. Okay. Here we go. The Washington Monument is the world's tallest all-stone obelisk. Is it important to know that Washington Monument is the world's tallest all-stone obelisk? So is this important? Is it important to know that? Dinesh says maybe. So you could have a yes for this, or you could have a maybe. Okay? Up to you, or how good your reading is. If it's a maybe, what should I look for? If I don't know if it's a maybe, what should I look for? I look at the passage, but what am I looking for? What am I scanning for? I don't want to read the whole passage. I don't want to scan the whole passage. I shouldn't. It's a waste of time. So what should I look for? Okay, Amrit says, well, maybe look for Washington Monument, sure. Or what else? What other keyword? Okay, if I'm not looking for Washington Monument, I'm looking for obelisk, right? That's a unique word. An obelisk looks like this. Okay, so that's a stone obelisk. It is the symbol of Ra, the sun god, for those of you who are not sure. Yeah, stone obelisk. Okay, and where? So where am I looking for that? Which paragraph? Amrit says E, maybe. Yeah, it kind of looks like a rocket. Yeah, I would say it's D or E, something like that, right? Yeah. So here we go. Let me erase that. So list of headings can really help you to find the correct paragraph very, very quickly. Okay. So 1884 marked the first time the world's tallest building stood in North America, the Washington Monument, the world's tallest obelisk. is also the world's tallest obelisk and tallest all-stone structure. So now I can confidently jump back to my yes, no, not given. And the answer, the Washington Monument, is the world's tallest all-stone obelisk. Yes, it is. Okay, so I put in yes into my answer sheet. Last one, the Eiffel Tower took over 40 years to build. So the Eiffel Tower took over 40 years to build. Is it important? To know? Is it important to know how long the Eiffel Tower took to build for this passage? For this passage? No. So it's not given. Okay, I'm not even going to search for it. I remember the only one it talked about, there was only one building that it talked about. Which one was it? One building where they talked about how long it took to build it. Anybody remember? King Never Dies. The answer to your question is at home. Use critical and active reading skills and practice to increase your comprehension and speed. Yeah, Empire State Building. That's right, Tina. The one in New York, Nimish. That's right, in New York City. Yeah, the Empire State Building was the only one that we talked about, or that the passage talked about, of how long it took to build. So this one would be a not given, for sure. Okay? It's not about the Empire State Building. It's about the Eiffel Tower. We don't know how long it took to build. We don't care. It's not given. Now, last questions. What was the world's tallest building in 1960? Okay, answer first with your own response. So what was the world's tallest building in 1960? Kirtu Dagar says Empire State Building, maybe? Okay. Yeah, so if you're confident that it's the Empire State Building, choose A and move on. Okay? If you're not sure, you might need to search for it. You can look for this. But if you know that it's the Empire State Building, then choose A and move on. Okay? CN Tower came later. Eiffel Tower came earlier. Burj Khalifa came much later, right? What, according to some commentators, is the difference between buildings and structures? So according to people, what's the difference between buildings and structures? In your own words, answer that. June Latour, horrible advice. If you're just scanning for keywords, the best score you're going to get is a band 5 or a 5.5. There's too much paraphrasing, June, in the IELTS exam to just scan for keywords. The problem is they'll use a synonym or a different word or a description. Okay. So Nirmaljeet says the purpose of the building. What do you mean, Nirmaljeet? So what do you mean? Yeah, Dinesh says one should live and work in a building, right? Okay. Yeah, live in it. Okay. A couple of you are saying, yeah, you should live in the building. Okay. So here are your choices. Just erase that so it's not confusing. Here we go. So what, according to some commentators, is the difference between buildings and structures? Buildings are made of different materials. Buildings were constructed after 1932. Buildings are designed for people to spend time in. Buildings have observation decks. And so many of you are saying C. Yeah, because spend time means live and work. Right? So C is good. Okay, number 13. Which statement best summarizes the message of the passage? Here we have to read the choices for this kind of question. Okay. So which statement best summarizes humans have an inexplicable desire to build towards the sky? Humans will always build higher and higher because they want to get closer to the gods. Human engineering mirrors the heights of buildings through history. It is human nature to seek knowledge. Which one of these would you say is the best summary for this passage? Humans have an unexplainable desire, an inexplicable need to build towards the sky. Humans will always be building higher. They want to build to the gods. Human engineering mirrors the height of buildings throughout history. Okay, I would go with A. Most of the passage talks about people want to just build towards the sky. They want to build because the gods are there. They want to build because they want to show that they have the highest building. I would go with A. If you're not sure about this one, what should you do? If you're not 100% sure for this last one, okay, you're like, I'm like 60% sure it's that one, but I don't know. What should I do? What should I do? Emrit says maybe look at the last paragraph. It's the conclusion. Yeah. The conclusion is close to a summary. So I can look at the last one. So it says, we will one day construct, while the impetus for the construction of taller and taller buildings may no longer be proximity to the gods, the desire to touch the sky with our creations remains. So I think the closest one is A. Now, if I'm still not sure, I just choose A and I go, okay? I'm not going to waste time rereading the passage just to get a better idea. It's a waste of time. You still have 2 more passages. So if you have 60% confidence, choose it, believe in yourself, go to the next passage, okay? All right, students, the answer key for this reading, it's on the last page, 182 of the book. Here you go. We can have a look at it now together. So, list of headings. It was number 7 for question 1. That was correct. Number 5 for question 2, correct. 9, 4, 1, 11, so that was great. Then we answered no, not given, yes, not given. Those are correct. And for the last 3, it was A, C, A, which were also correct. So good job there. It was 13 out of 13. If you're not sure about where the answers are coming from, you can go to the transcripts for the reading. We have that in our course. We're the only ones who include transcripts for reading. And then you can actually get the audio as well. And you can find where the answers are coming from. So here, notice that the answer for number 7, it shows you that the Great Pyramid was the tallest structure in the world for almost 4,000 years. So we know that for number 7, the answer is no. For that very last question, you get the answer from the whole passage, of course, but it is listed. So that's it, students. That's the passage for today. You have audio also for our reading, so you can listen to a native British speaker. Again, remember, students, no class tomorrow or Friday. Next class will be on Monday, okay? Monday's class will start with a members chat class, writing task 1, and then a speaking part 2, the cue card for everybody. Okay, students, this week still, you can use the code LIVE20, LIV20, for a 20% discount from our premium IELTS package. aehelp.com for academic, gieltshelp.com for general. Academic looks like this, blue background. Click that red button. And then general looks like this with the green background. Click that button. I hope you learned a lot of great ways to improve your reading, your band scores. And students, have a great rest of the weekend. I will see you on Monday. Okay, I hope that was valuable for you. And remember, study hard, study lots, study smart. Okay, study smart. And you will reach your goals. Believe in yourself. All right, we believe in you. Have an awesome weekend. Much love to all of you. Bye for now.